What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, it's Verti here, and before Borderlands 4 drops, you probably want to stock up on a few essential items, things like energy drinks, things like some snacks, and of course you want to make sure that you charge your wireless gear so that your mouse and your headset are ready to go, because nothing kills the grind faster than a dead battery. Now, I can't really help you with the charging or with the snacks, but what I can help you with is the most crucial part, your leveling builds. I've already mapped out my personal Day-1 setups for every single Vault Hunter, and in this video I'll walk you through my exact launch plan for all of them. If you want to hit the ground running and avoid wasting hours, then sub to the channel and watch this video. But if all you came for was the end build, I'm gonna flash them up on the screen now. I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. I've mapped it out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the different steps of how I would take them. There is some annotation. If I don't take all the 5 points right away, then you're gonna see that as an asterisk on the picture. So, if this is all you came for, I don't wanna hold you hostage. See you guys in the next one. Peace. But for all of you beautiful people that stuck around, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna give you 4 builds for the 4 Vault Hunters. And I'm gonna break it down step by step, what I'm picking, why I'm picking, and when I'm picking it. So with Wax, we're gonna go with a Dead Ringer kill skill build because I don't wanna leave my clone fetish homies out in the cold. So, first, Sanguine Fiend for healing over time, always useful. Then, Grave Assault for some fire rate, always useful. Then we're gonna pick up Gas Blaster as soon as we can because we wanna make sure that we get that big chunk of damage early on. It is gonna be substantial, or I suspect it's gonna be substantial. These are usually falling off in the mid to late game. Then Blood Sacrifice is gonna make sure that whenever our minion dies, our kill skills are gonna trigger additionally. Grave Quickening is gonna make sure that the action skill cooldown rate is increased so we can keep on summoning and churning our minions over and over again. And as soon as we can, we're swapping over to Wither. This damage taken increased by 30% for 15 seconds is gonna allow us to do so much more damage ourselves than what the Blast would ever do, that there is no reason not to take it. Then we're switching over to Prismatic Weaponry. This is where we're gonna start getting some damage bonuses with our crits for both Wax and the Spectres. And we're gonna take 2 points into Obedient Winds because we have to, right? It's minion damage, so it's gonna be useful. And then we're gonna take That Follows Closer because what do I always say? What's the best Reaper? A free Reaper. Absolutely. That's what we get here. A Get Out of Jail free card. Then Dinner is gonna give us an extra charge, more minions, more damage, more survivability. And of course, Dark Pact, a free heal, and we get 2 augments. The second augments, my recommendation would be the Banshee's Wail, because that means that our Reapers can over-shield us, and they're gonna do a little bit more gnarly damage, right? That is all the survivability that we need. So we're gonna hop over to Incarnate and get a load of damage now with the build. Gravesight, increased crit hit and weapon handling on kill skills. Grave Implements, increased gun damage. Volatile Essence, increased splash damage that is doubled if we have a minion. And then of course Grave Power so that we get max stacks on the kill skills. The last 5 points, I'm slapping it into Grave Sustenance for missing action skill durations, meaning our homies are gonna stay alive longer and the duration is not gonna expire as quickly. You could put 3 points in the Hasty Fiends. I might do that if the areas where you have to play are gonna be very large. I've never played the game, so I don't know what can I expect. But let's move over to Rafa. For Rafa, we get a Peacebreaker Cannon Mega Killer that is focused mainly on making sure that you lay everything out with Overdrive. Deft Hands is going to increase your fire rate, always good. More bullets, more fun. Juerga, increasing your action skill duration on any critical hits, which is very important because we're going to take Bullet Body Deluxe, which makes sure that if you activate it, you do not consume any ammo. So that's why we're taking fire rate and that's why we're taking the duration so that we can make sure that the cannons on our shoulders are active for a long time so we get a bigger window of no ammo consumption. Then we're going to take Vengeanza because why not? A free grenade is also, what am I also saying? The free grenade is the best grenade. So we're going to take that and then get some cheeky little DPS in there in case we get into trouble. And we're going to go over to all the Overdrive ones that we can get our hands on from now on. Resiliencia, damage reduction while in Overdrive. Barrage, splash damage while in Overdrive. Devil May Care, move speed and health regen while in Overdrive and damage and action skill cooldown rate while outside of Overdrive. And the big ticket item, Soltado, double Overdrive bonuses on a kill. At this point, we pick up volatile hollow points. No reason not to. Rockets instead of little BB pebble guns. We're not going to pick up Temerario though, because it does decrease our weapon handling, and I don't know how difficult that is going to make it so. So instead, we're going to go to Apophis Lance and pick up the Thrill for fire rate. We're going to pick up Las Haras or Las Jeras for regeneration of the ammo. And we're going to pick up Al Centro because that will directly counteract and overtake the what the fuck was it called? Temerario. So this one gives 1% per second weapon handling that keeps on stacking the longer you've been in overdrive, which means then we can take Temerario because it gives you minus 1 second per second weapon handling, which is going to be completely counteracted. So this just becomes a really strong gun damage buff in overdrive that is doubled. The last point here, no question, expedite. With the overdrive doubling it, you're going to be zooming. No reason not to take it. But this is it for Rafa. Let's head on over to Amon. For Amon, I've cooked up a fiery build around Pyroclast and making sure that you do a shit ton of damage up close. Now, there is 37 points in Calamity, so I'm going to try to make my best to explain it very clearly. Impetus, 3 points in there. We're going to get shield regen and move speed. Then what burns within for extra fire damage, and everything is fire that we do. Then we're going to take, of course, Pyroclast that restores our health when we use our Onslaughter. And it gives us an incendiary effect around us, burning everybody to a crisp. Then 2 points into Build the Storm, only 2. That's going to increase the fire duration. Then 1 point into Forging Steel, making us immune to all damage. So we have full health, all damage. So then we're going to take 4 points into Metal Urge. That's going to give us a Giga Gun damage that every single time we do a damage with a gun, we're going to increase our action skill cooldown rate, allowing us to use it earlier, fully heal ourselves, and burn everyone around us. Then Into the Fray is going to give us more damage the closer we are, and more damage reduction the closer we are, so we can be up in everyone's face. Then Maiming Strike for weakness, going to be very strong. We're going to do more damage to them, and they're going to do less damage to us. Then Burning Ramparts because we have to. It's a fire rate buff, very good. And then Mortar Flare so we can trigger and detonate the weakened enemies. We can of course take Molten Royal so that we do some extra damage, but then we're going to head over to Vengeance and take Battleborn because this one is a sleeper. If our health is full and maximum health, we're going to do double the effect of the gun damage increase. So that's going to be a lot of gun damage because we're always on full health. We fully heal ourselves with Pyroclast and then we're immune, so for 6 seconds we're going to be guaranteed on max health. So this bonus is going to be OP. Then we're going to go into Cybernetics and take Gathering Storm because the flat damage boost out of this elemental damage is going to be more than what we would get if we take the Calamity trees individually. But after this, we're going to go into Calamity and we're going to start maxing things out. So Metal Urge first because action skill cooldown is going to be more important. 5 out of 5 with this one. Then we're going to 5 out of 5, so 3 points into 3 points. Yeah, 3 points into Wield the Storm. And then we're going to put 5 points into the best defense so that we can get some super shield when we do melee. And remember, our Forge skill is a melee. And then the remaining 2 points I'm going to put into gun swap speed with Eternal because there are some longest animations when you're pulling a gun out of your ass and it takes 7 working days. And I don't want to wait for that. But with this one, we arrive to my craziest invention yet. The Harlowe skill with Cosmic Brilliance. This one is going to be super funny because it's suicidal. Action at a distance so that we can apply our status effect to entangled enemies and they apply to each other. And everything revolves around coronal mass ejection. This is going to strip all the elemental resistances so our flux generator is going to freeze even easier. We're going to help it with heat death so that there is cryo efficiency. And as soon as we freeze someone, we're going to get an absolute 0 point, which increases the action skill duration. So we're going to freeze for a month, and we're going to freeze everyone super quick. Then we're going to go into the suicidal side of it. Gamma Ray Burst, which means that we use Flux Generator, we strip our armor, and the next shot we're going to do is going to strip our armor, and it's going to shoot a max radiation damage bullet. Now, the danger with that clearly is that you're going to lose all your armor, so if you only have red health, you might get laid out. But I would imagine that even if that happens, the fight for your life is gonna kick in very easily because you're gonna be radiating everyone to death, which is why I'm not worried. But I will take Jaunt because that feels like a fun thing where I can mess around and see if I can get out of bounds with replacing myself with the flux generator or getting to points where enemies cannot get to, and that would be pretty funny. Then 4 points into Harlowe Certainty Principle because we need to, and because gun handling is good the more enemies are in there. And there is going to be a lot of enemies in there because we pick up Violent Horizon, which shoots at radiation projectiles, and if they get hit, they get sucked into the flux generator, and then they get frozen, and then they get radiated, and then they get burnt. And then we're going to finish up with 5 points in Meltdown to get some extra critical hit dealing radiation damage. Then we're not going into Creative Burst, we're going to go into Seize the Day and pick up 5 points into Pulse Drive so that we can do this more often with some action, skill, cooldown, rate. Once we have that, we can spend the remainder of 14 points in Creative Bursts. 5 of those goes into Fuzzy Mat. It's more status effect chance, so there is a bigger chance of freezing or faster freezing, and then there is just going to be bigger radiation. Then Elementary, it's a gaining an increased elemental damage and status effect, so everything that we do is going to be better with this. And then we're going to pick up Elephant's Foot. This one is the one that's going to make it really funny because we're going to strip our armor, we're going to shoot a big radiation damage, and when our shield breaks, we're going to do radiation damage to all the entangled enemies. And remember, everything is going to be entangled because they're going to be sitting, chilling, frozen in the flux generator, getting entangled. And then the bigger the damage, the bigger overshield we're going to have. So we strip it and we get it right back before anything could happen to us. And then for the last 3 points, we're going to throw it into Enriched to get more radiation damage. So that's my full launch plan. The exact leveling builds that I'll be running for every single Vault Hunter in Borderlands 4. Some might change. However, I am ready. I'm stocked up on coffee, on snacks. My gear is charged and I'm ready to grind. Now this is my last big prep video before the game drops. So the next time you see me, I'll finally be playing the game and not just giving you guys stock footage and a static window. Either way, if you found this helpful, drop it a like. Let me know in the comments. What's your launch build gonna be? Let's talk about it. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.